I'm Zack Coleman. I'm 19 years old and I'm from Houston, Texas. So the first night we were ministering here at IV, we were out in front of the Jesus Burgers house, and there were these three girls that were standing outside, and they were waiting for burgers and stuff like that. And I just felt like the Lord was really telling me to just go over there and just start loving on them. And they weren't dressed decently. They were dressed in really short skirts, and they were just showing everything. And I went over to them, and one of the girls had just started talking to her. And at first she was just kind of like, all her fences were up. She was just like, don't talk to me, I don't want to talk to you, I just want a burger and I want to leave. But I just continued to talk to her, and I just told her how loved she was by God. And then I looked over to our friend that was standing there, and I just felt like the Lord, like his compassion hit me. And I was looking at her and I was just telling her how beautiful she was, and she just was like, stop, like don't tell me how beautiful I am. And automatically I felt like the Lord was saying that men have hurt her really bad in her past. And so I just simply said, I said, men have hurt you in your past, and it's been really bad, and they've taken advantage of you, and they haven't treated you like you should be treated. And she just breaks down into tears, and all of her friends are like, what in the world? Like you don't even know her. How did you even know that that's happened? And she just started to weep, and she was just like, oh my, like you have no idea what that even means. And I just told her that God didn't intend for that to happen, that he was sorry. And I gave her a huge hug, and I just held her in my arms as she wept. And her friends like came around us, and it was weird because her friends were totally closed off to me at first. And all of them came around, and we were like in this group huddle, like everybody was hugging her and hugging me. And I was just whispering in her ear, like, you're so loved, and you're so valuable, and you're so special to God, and he never intended those things to happen. And I just apologized on behalf of all the men in her life. And I apologized honestly from God's perspective, saying that like, I'm sorry that happened to you, and it wasn't what I intended for you. And she was just weeping. And then I pulled her back, and I was just like, you're so valuable, and you deserve the best. And I told her, I was like, you're not allowed to settle for anything but the best. And she was crying and laughing. And it was this really beautiful, tender moment where God just came and touched her heart right where she was at and loved on her. And all of her friends knew that God was real and that he saw her. And she walked away knowing that she was completely seen by God and loved by him. And she was so valuable. And she told me whenever she was walking away, she was like, I'll never forget you, and I'll never forget what God just did in my life.